The Rebuild, a Fins podcast with Ty and Cass.
What is up, Dolphin fans? Welcome to another episode of The Rebuild. As always, I'm your host today, Tyler. Joining me on today's episode, of course, is Cass to give me the full breakdown and the news of the Jaylen Waddle trade. But Cass, what's going on, man? How we doing?
I'm doing well, man. My favorite player got traded away, so I'm a little heartbroken, but I'm doing well.
Yeah, I don't even have a jersey on today. I have nothing. We'll get into it a little bit, but it's a sad day. Jaylen Waddle was a fan favorite. He kind of resembled what we want for the Miami Dolphins. Was just a good person, good leader, never did anything wrong off the field. So sad day. But before we get more in depth, as always, go ahead and follow us on Twitter at RebuildTheFins. Also, go ahead and scan that QR code on the top of your screen. Bring you right to our YouTube channel. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Some good news. We have reached our goal of 2,500 total views. It appears Omar Kelly of the Miami Herald, Miami Dolphin columnist, should be on the episode next week. I'm kind of getting that all kind of squared away, but I think next week will be the day. So both of us are very excited about that. There's been a lot of news and should be a really good episode. So we appreciate all the support. But yeah, Cass, let's get into it, man. I got different views on this. I'll let you go, but just what was your initial reaction of the Jaylen Waddle? You're the one who texted me. I was driving, I got the news from you. So
did you almost crash?
What were your thoughts?
Did you almost crash reading the text? Is that what
I did? Emily, my wife Emily, was stop looking at your phone. I was like, we just traded Waddle. But what were your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a little strange because at the beginning of the season, the off season, I'm like, hey, we don't trade for Malik Willis and we just unload everyone. It's gonna hurt to see Waddle, Achane go, but it's what we have to do. We got Malik Willis, and I'm like, oh, well, they are actually trying to win games. So okay, right, we'll see how it goes. And then to sign Malik Willis and a few days later trade Waddle it's a little weird. Only for the fact of I don't know the direction we're going. It seems like we're making a lot of moves, shedding a lot of money, which is good, because we have a ton of dead money next year and the year after that, I believe. But we have a ton of dead money. But it's just weird. Like I like the haul we got. So we got a first round pick, a third pick, and a fourth. We gave up Waddle on a fourth. So the haul isn't bad in my opinion, but it's just weird the direction we're going.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think the haul was fine. Like I said, we got the first round pick in pick 30. We got the third round pick, and yeah, we got basically we're pick swapping for. So it was really we got Waddle for a first and a third. Okay, fine. I'm okay with that, but I agree with you, man. Like last week we signed Malik Willis, which was a surprise in terms of just the outside landscape of the NFL. People did not think that we had the money to do it. Obviously, we agree that the relationships and, the familiarity of everything, like it made sense that we went and got him. But Malik Willis is still an unproven quarterback. Yes, he had some good starts with Green Bay, very few and far between. You literally just traded away our best outside weapon, our best weapon, obviously, with Devon. You have him and Devon. I mean, that's it. That's all we had. So to me, it's like 1 week you're telling the fan base, you're telling the league, hey, we're actually trying to win games. Now, we've talked about this before. We don't believe that we're going to actually win games, even if we had Devon, we are Waddle, Malik, and Devon. But you're at least giving the mindset to the organization, to the fan base that at least offensively, we're going to be competitive. We're going to be maybe in that top 50. Who knows? Like it could work out offensively. That's what you told us last week, right? A week and a few days later, you just traded away to Waddle for, again, a nice haul, but it's just confusing to the fan base. It's like you're trying to evaluate what Malik Willis is, but you've just taken away his best offensive piece besides Devon Achane. And again, going back to what they've done in free agency, we've signed a bunch of nobodies. We're in a position where we're basically telling people, hey, listen, if you're from Florida, if you want a 1-year deal, you're our team. Okay. That's what we signed 24 free agents. 18 of them are absolute bums. Let's just call a spade a spade. They're there for a reason. They're 1-year deals for a reason, right? They're trying to make the team, or trying to be kind of have a good year so they can get another contract. So a lot of these guys are nobodies, right? However, the two moves that I actually liked by the Miami Dolphins were Tutu Atwell and Jalen Tolbert from the Cowboys, two receivers, thinking that these guys are actually professional receivers to go along with Jaylen Waddle. That's what I was saying. Like, you had Waddle and you brought in Tutu, who's a smaller guy, but speed, kind of does things that like Tyreek-ish does. Not saying that that's the same, but the similar type player. You know, he's speed. Tolbert is a little bigger of a receiver, which we've needed. And you paired him with Waddle. I'm like, okay, you're actually giving Malik Willis an absolute chance. You put Austin Jackson. They signed him. They basically he took a pay cut to come back. You got your stud center and your stud left tackle with Austin Jackson. Hopefully he stays healthy. You got Devon Achane. It's like, okay, guys, this makes sense. But now you got rid of Waddle, and you're telling me Tutu Atwell, who again is an okay player. He's not a wide receiver 1. He's not a wide receiver 2. He's probably not even a wide receiver 3, but whatever. But now he's our number 1 option. And you're trying to evaluate Malik Willis, and you're saying, hey, here you go. And again, I get it. Like, he's a dual threat quarterback, so you could maybe mask some of that shit. But I don't mind the trade. I don't understand why 1 week they're saying we're going to win, and now this is a clear move. You're not trying to win. You're just trying to get in your guys, which is totally fine. You got a lot of draft capital, which I'm very excited for. April is going to be the draft is our Super Bowl this year, guys. This is it. This is where things start to change quickly. You hit on a few of these picks, and you're like, damn, we're right back into this thing. But I'm confused. You know, I think that's the word. I'm just confused. Like, which route are we trying to go?
Yeah. To clarify, if you and I suited up tomorrow, we would be bums. The guys that signed, they're not bums.
Guys, they're bums.
Comparative, yes, I get what you're
Relatively speaking, in the NFL,
yes,
these guys are bums.
Yes.
And the 24 guys that we signed, we're probably going to sign more. 60% of them probably don't make the team. They probably will be just because we need bodies, but like they should not be on the NFL roster. I'm sorry.
So
they should be.
So I think the part that you didn't touch on is we have to see what we're going to do in the draft, you know, because maybe they're like, hey, we get what we can for Waddle, and there's a guy we're targeting the draft to be our number 1 receiver. You know, the world is fixed. The other part of that too is,
hold on, Cass. One thing. I got into it a little bit on Twitter today about the Waddle, and I apologize. I'll let you go, but I don't think people understand. To me, Jaylen Waddle is a top echelon receiver. Yes. Is he top 10? No. Is he top 15? Probably not. Top 20? Yes. Right? So, yes, he had a bad year last year. Tua fucking sucked. Tua was awful last year. And he still got over 900 yards and I think 6 touchdowns. And Tua was pathetic. The year prior, we had Skylar Thompson, we had Snoop Huntley, and we had Tim Boyle for 8 or 9 games the year prior. They should not have been on a high school roster in this offense last year. They were awful, right? So he had a down year. The years prior, this man was a walking 1,000-yard receiver. And one of those years was 23 when Tyreek Hill was going for 2K, and they never threw the ball to him because it was all about Tyreek. And the man still got 1,000 yards. Yes, he's 27 years old. You know, where will we be when he's 30? I get that. But guys, like, all this to go ahead and draft someone who's going to become a top 15, 20 receiver that we're hoping when you already have that, and he's still young enough where if this team turns around next year or the year after, he's still that dude. I don't know. Like, that's why I'm a little confused on which route we're going.
This is where we kind of differ is I think Waddle is close to peaking, and it's like, hey, if you get Waddle, you have to be in a win now. We're not a win now. I can't confidently say in 2 years I think Waddle's going to be healthy enough to get 1,000 yards and stay healthy majority of the season. So, like, I love Waddle. I wish him the best. He's a stud. I agree with you. Top 20-ish is where I would say in the NFL. But I think, like, yes, you should have traded him. It just doesn't make sense with the Malik Willis. Well, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. It's just confusing with the Malik Willis. But what this does tell me about Achane is he's probably going to be, if he's not already on the trading block, he's going to be on the trading block and be traded soon. At least that's what I think. Do you disagree about the Achane?
No. I think the very first thing that I said when this move happened, after I kind of digest all the info, where I was like, I don't really get this, but it's like, okay, I get it, but Achane's got to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's got to go. We got to trade him before the draft, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because he's in a position where he wants a new contract. He can hold out. Like, he's really a rental. If we get to the season, the guy's a rental unless you're extending him, which I don't know if they want to do. Similar, the thing with Waddle is he's relatively cheap this year, but his next year cap hit and his number goes way up. So again, I get that on a contract standpoint where you're going to have to pay a receiver. We're probably not going to be where we need to be next year. So I get it. I don't mind the move. I just, going back to Malik Willis, it's like, we got to give this man at least a chance. Like, we got to give him a chance. But going back to Achane, dude, we got to trade him. I'm sorry. You can get a first-round pick for him. You and I have talked about this about Waddle. We were going to get a first-round pick for him, and we did. Yes, we got the 30th, which is basically a second, but we got a first-round pick and a third. So don't tell me Devon Achane, who's a superstar. I know he's a smaller back, whatever. I don't care. The guy is Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibb type running back receiver. The guy is an absolute stud. If he's on a team that is competing, that man could put you over the top, in my opinion.
Well, what team would it be? Because initially I thought, like, hey, Kansas City's a perfect match, but that's not going to happen now.
I saw Seattle.
The
Bears.
Yeah, they're big on Charbonnet, though. So I don't know.
Yeah, you got to look at the teams that are kind of in that window where, they need another piece. They're late in the first round. Like, do they think that is a value for them versus draft, getting someone? So it's going to be a late first round pick, which is okay. That would be 3 first round picks for us. Like, we got to trade him. I'm sorry. Like, this move. Excuse me.
I agree. We'll see. But again, I think you just came to the realization. It hit you hard when I sent you that text today that we're going to win like 2 games at most this season.
Yeah. I'm an optimist, as you know, Cass. I'm always thinking everything's okay, and you bring me down to level, which that's why you and I click. But when they signed Malik Willis, that gave me a little hope. That gave me next year's going to be exciting regardless, because we're going to have the draft picks, we're going to have Malik Willis. Like, it's going to be a must watch for us. But I thought with keeping Waddle in this offense, I thought offensively we had we would have been okay. Now, defense, we're going to suck. I mean, there's no question about it. But
I'm smiling now because being a Dolphins fan seems to always like give you a little bit of hope and then crush it so fast.
And I can tell you what, I'm not buying any jerseys. Not happening. I'm not doing it. Don't let me buy a Malik Willis jersey, because you know what's going to happen is he's going to be gone. And it's like a curse. Yeah. I get a jersey and they go after a few years. It's just what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, regarding Devon, the phones are ringing. I mean, there's just no question. Do they extend him? Do they keep him? I'm not trading him if we're not getting a first round pick. I'm sorry. If we're not getting a first round pick, or if we're not getting like multiple 2s, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
So something close to the Waddle haul is what I would expect for Achane.
Yeah. Now, regarding the draft, so now we have the 11th and the 30th. I don't believe that 11, I've seen like Carnell Tate, I don't know if he falls to 11. The guy from, I think, Arizona State, Tyson or whatever, another receiver potentially at 11. Knowing what the Green Bay Packers do and their history, they do not draft skill position players in round 1, offensive players, honestly, in round 1. They did last year with the Notre Dame guy, but years prior to that, I think it was like 5, 6, 7 years where they do not draft offensively. So I do not think that 11, I would want a receiver, even if it's Carnell Tate. I don't personally think so, because I think the receiving class this year is at least there's depth there. So I think you could get one either with the 30th, or to me, what I would want to do is move down from 11.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Spots, and then maybe you take a receiver and get, I don't know what that would get you, and I think at 11, we got to go defense. Like, we just have to go defense.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's going to be the draft class next year is really good too. So even if you didn't take a receiver this year, you could take one next year. And we're going to be bad, so we're going to have our pick at whoever we want.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to go, like you said, they're gonna move down the board, and I think the first few picks are going to be defense. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I would hope for Ruben Bain, some DN, maybe Caleb Downs, like defense. It's got to be defense. It just has to. And then at 30, shit, I'm going another defense. Actually, I would say
I don't think they pick an offensive player until
tackle, I think, or guard or whatever from Miami's there.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that, but I don't think he's going to be there either from Miami. I would go defense, and then like I said, at 30, man, probably defense again. Like Now, the other nice thing too is that we have 4 third-round picks. That is ammunition. If you want to move back into the second round and get, use a couple of those thirds to get in there, I'm totally fine. We at least now have a lot of options for the drafts. We have so many different options. Like we are stacked with picks. And, the interesting thing was the Bills last year in the trade deadline appeared to offer us a first-round pick in 27. But obviously the Dolphins declined that. It's kind of interesting that they wanted the 26th pick, just knowing how deep the 27 quarterback class is. But it's interesting. I would be curious to see what, would they be willing to take a first round pick for Devon next year? I would assume they would. They probably don't. They're probably good on 26.
The Bills?
What's that?
The Bills?
No. I'm saying they didn't want
Miami,
a 27.
Miami.
Yeah, they didn't want a 27.
Yeah. I'm sure they would.
Waddle,
I'm sure they would.
They want one.
I'm sure they would. What the one of the things I'm most interested in is to see how Sully's gonna perform in the draft, because his big thing was I can find gems in the draft. So this will be like brand new, first time GM. What moves are you gonna make in the draft? And you have a lot of picks, so like it's not a year where you just have your own. So like you can really mess this up if you're not smart with it. So I would also expect him to make some safe picks also up front. And like I said, I think they're going to trade away some, like you said, I think they're going to trade away some of the picks in the third too.
Yeah. Speaking of this, we talked about this last episode, which I don't know how we feel about Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, I still love him. I say get him.
We need a receiver. He's young. He's on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
We just got more ammunition. Is that something that maybe they're
just opened up?
I mean,
spot just opened up.
Spot just opened up is right. Like what young receivers are out there that, maybe we're not thinking of, but Brian Thomas Jr. has been linked to trades. Like, why the hell not?
Would that bring hope back for you?
Well, I was listening to Omar Kelly's, podcast before we got on here. And, he was talking about like, if the Dolphins signed Stephon Diggs, like next week, would we feel like hope? Like probably. I mean, if we got Stephon, we need another receiver. I mean, there's no question. You're going to draft one, but, as one of these like free agent guys like Jawan Jennings, someone that has at least experience that maybe is not getting the money that they want. And they're like, hey, I'll go to Miami for a year or whatever. Because Tutu Atwell and Jalen Tolbert as our 1-2 and Malik Washington is our wide. I mean, guys,
that's not going to be our starting receiving core when we start the season. I don't think so.
That is just.
Yeah, I think you went from very hopeful to very depressed, and you got to come up just a little bit. Like things will be different.
Yeah, I think overall, I think the fan base is kind of leaning to like, okay, we get this. This is exactly why this podcast is called The Rebuild, because we knew when we started this, before all this chaos, was like, okay, we knew this year is going to be rough. The next couple of years will be rough. But the one thing that John Eric Sullivan came in to do for this franchise is this guy has a scouting background. You have the floor, my man. Like, this is your time to shine. If you hit on these picks, this rebuild goes from 3-4 years to potentially 1 to 2 years like that, because you got Malik Willis, who you think is the guy. But if you go ahead and hit on some of these receivers and D players, like this thing could change like that. So I've said this on multiple episodes. Jeff Hafley will have his time where he's going to become important. But right now, the most important person from the day he was hired until July is the general manager. We've already tried this in 2019. We tried to lose. We got all the draft capital from the Laremy Tunsil deals, and Chris Greer fucked it up. He did. But so I guess my point is Just because we have all these picks does not mean this shit's going to work out. We've done this before. We have a new person leading, but if he does not hit this in 3 years, there's going to be a Rebuild 2 podcast going out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Just don't replace me on the Rebuild 2 podcast, okay?
I might get. Let me tell you, the fans like you better than me. Let's be honest here.
It's all right, man.
Yeah, but so
I like you better than I like me, if that means anything to you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I got passion today. The Dolphins are just they're pissing me off. It's just one thing or the other. It's like, my gosh.
I think this is a good thing. You're going to look back at this, and I think most fans will look back at this as a good thing.
I think, yes. I mean, that's our hope, but
yeah,
we have been through this before. It's the life of a Dolphin fan. Now, I did want to ask you, so when they signed Malik Willis, did Malik Willis know that this was like a real thing? Because in his press conference, he's talking about that he's faster than Waddle and Achane. Like, did he know that like they were going to trade Waddle?
I don't know, man. I would assume that.
Like, is the deal's official? Like, he can't back out of this shit, right?
I know he signed. It's a contract to sign.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's why the trade came after. But no, I think. I mean, logically, I would think you would tell your starting quarterback your plans coming in. So it's like, hey, I don't want you to think you're going to have this weapon. So, but again, before I get too upset, I would say, or before you get too upset, I would say, let's just wait till the draft, see what happens, see what the starting core looks like at, beginning of the season.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I just want everyone to remember that our schedule next year is awful. We have
hold on. Everyone knows this.
I don't think people understand
winning 2 games.
The gauntlet.
So you're the only one that thought we were going to win more than 2 games. Okay, let's just put that out there.
I thought Malik Willis with Waddle was a high end. Like our ceiling was like 8 wins.
Yeah,
that's with Waddle.
That's crazy.
What do you mean?
That's crazy.
Really?
Listen, it's never going to happen anymore.
I said ceiling. I said that's our high. Like that's our best case scenario. We're more likely than like I would say 3 wins.
Yeah.
Because you look at the Vikings. We circled the Vikings. When we started this podcast, like, hey, that could be a win. They got Kyler Murray now. I mean that's an upgrade for them.
Yeah.
The
Jets, our ceiling might be 1, and our floor might be.
I don't know.
Yeah, our ceiling might be 1 this year.
It could be rough. We're going to need to put up 40 points a game, and we probably still lose.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
But
at least the draft will be fun.
Yes, the April is going to be a fun time. Even though the draft was always fun, we had a lot of picks even before the Waddle. We now have a lot of ammunition, and it should be interesting to see what our next general manager does with these picks, these players, because these kids that come in, they are going to need to be ready to go because they are seeing the field immediately. We have no depth in a lot of key areas, so they're going to be drafting these guys, our rookies from last year, or now second-year guys.
Yeah,
they're going to need to step up. Kenneth Walker, Chop Robinson, I think third-year guy. Like, these guys need to step up, and it will be interesting to see what they do. But yeah, I mean, it was another wild day for the Dolphins.
Yeah. And I know we're wrapping up here, but the other thing to really keep in mind is we have a lot of dead money next year, and then we have some the year after that, right?
We have dead money this year, and then the Tua thing gets next year. We're projected, like I was reading this, we're projected to have obviously we know the cap's going to go up, but around 120, 125 million in cap space next year. Even with Tua's
Exactly. So another strategy could be we're going to be bad until we get cap space. Then, let's see what happens. Because I know they said that they weren't interested in bringing in the big free agents or anything. That does not mean they won't make trades. That does not mean they won't go after a guy that they like. So having cap space is good. So again, even if next year is bad, there's still that hope because we have cap space after that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Next year, 27 will be a good year for us. 27, 28 are now our windows where 27 hopefully gets pretty good. We have to get rid of some of the Tua stuff, but 27, 28, we have a chance where this thing can start rolling. Really quick before we jump off, I just wanted to give you so we're in agreement. We would trade Devon Achane, right?
Yep.
assuming we get what we think we should get for him, not just dumping him, but trading him for
Correct.
a good draft pick. Let me give you 2 more players. What about Zach Sealer? Would you trade him?
I don't know. I mean, you could wait on that.
I would trade him.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't know what you would get for him. I would probably assume. I mean, he's good. He's a good D tackle. Probably like a third or fourth, maybe.
But do you need to trade him this year? Could you wait and trade him next year? I almost think like.
Do we need to trade Waddle?
Well, here's the thing. Achane and Waddle, they're diminishing value. That's the reason why you trade them while they're high. I don't know how many other players we have on our roster that I'd look at.
I get the concept, obviously, of trading them when they're high. That's something the old regime did not do.
Yeah.
A la Bradley Chubb, right? But a 27-year-old receiver, like, who, in my opinion, like I said, Waddle, he's not like he's 30. He has a decent contract relative to the receiving market. So, I don't know that. But, okay.
Yeah, the Waddle thing, get off.
Steeler, to me, is on the down, but he still has value.
Yeah.
And if you're saying, hey, guys, we're kind of giving up, our pieces, our good pieces, like Zach Sealer, I would trade. Devon, I would trade.
Okay.
What about Aaron Brewer, the center? I would trade.
Okay. I mean, none of these guys are game changers.
I would trade Patrick Paul.
Here's the thing. None of these guys except Achane are game changers. I think any team gets one of these people, it's not going to be like, oh, now we have the shot. This is the player that's going to get us. Would you trade
Patrick Paul, though? Our superstar left tackle.
Yes, he is good. He is good. But
maybe I take that back. I probably wouldn't trade him, but he's going to want $100 million next year.
That's what I'm saying, though. So, you might not have to trade him this year. You could trade him next year. His value is still going to be high, but Achane as a running back, his value is going to continuously decrease. Waddle, he's going to get up there in age. His value is going to continually decrease. Now is the time to trade those guys. But some of these other guys, they're going to have as much or more value next year. There's no immediate need to trade them.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I just think that when you go Waddle, don't stop. You want to tear it down, don't stop.
I don't think so. Schefter reported that hey, more is to come with Miami. They're not done. So there's gonna be more episodes for us to upload about trades.
Yeah, cool. We'll wrap that up. We appreciate you joining the rebuild. Again, stay tuned. Hopefully Omar Kelly, Miami Herald, will be on next week. We appreciate all the support. Again, go ahead and follow us on Twitter and subscribe to us on YouTube. We are out until the next breaking news. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.
See ya.